we are going to make our apple pie filling, and I have taken some Granny Smith apples and I've cut them into small cubes. This is way smaller than you need it for an apple pie, but I want to put it inside the cupcake and I don't want big chunks of apple, so I cut it really way smaller than you probably need it for anything else. But this will go really good on top of ice cream or an apple turnover. So we're just gonna get started. I have tossed this in some fresh lemon juice, and that gives it a little bit more tartness, which complements the sweetness that we're gonna add, and it also makes it not turn brown. So we have that there. Now we are going to cut on our stove, and we're going to get our butter. I'm going to link these recipes so you don't have to worry about missing anything. And you know, all these ingredients can be interchangeable, should I say. You can add a little more butter if you want, a little more sugar if you want. You want it sweeter, you can do that. You're not so sweet, you can do that. So it's absolutely up to you. So we're going to melt this butter. And so now that is melted, and we're going to add a cup of sugar. It's a filling, and you know, cupcake fillings tend to be sweet. You normally have, for cakes and cupcakes, the raspberries or the fruit fillings that are sweet. So we want to cut it down. We don't want it to burn. And we're going to add a little bit of water. And we are going to let that come to a boil. In the meantime, we're going to add a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And to make it even more cinnamony, we're going to add a cinnamon stick. And now that is nice and bubbly, and it's turning nice and brown. I could use also brown sugar, but I didn't want it to be all brown. So I'm going to cut it on low, and I'm going to add my apples. And these are Granny Smith apples, and these is just what I bought. I actually bought the apples, and I chose Granny Smith because they stay firm even when you cook them. But the best apples that you can use in this recipe are the apples that you have on your counter that are turning brown, and they're not really good for eating anymore, or you know, nobody wants the brown spotted apples. So they would be the best ones to chop up and turn into applesauce, or you know, put in a cake or to cook. So that's the best apples to choose. Any one you have on your counter. You could have any brand, any type, anything. You can up and down the sugar. Some apples are sweeter than others, so you can up and down the sugar. So when this comes to a boil, which should be soon, doesn't take very long, it's nice and hot. I have made a slurry out of cornstarch and water, just equal parts. And this is going to thicken our sauce. And we're not going to use, probably not all of it, we're going to see, because we don't want it to be watery, and we don't want it to be too thick. And as it cools, it's going to thicken, so we need to keep that in mind when we thicken it. Cut it up a little bit. So this has been simmering for about 2 minutes, and I'm just going to cut it on low. And this is almost just about done. So now I'm just going to add my slurry. A little bit at a time. And you'll see how thick it's going to get. You can even hear it's thickening. Okay, I'm going to cut it off now. The apples are cooked. And we don't want to really overdo it. We don't want to burn them. This is going to thicken as we let it cool. So you know what? We're done. We're just going to go let this cool now. When this is cool just a little bit, we'll put it in a bowl and then we'll put it in the fridge so it can be ready for when we go to fill our cupcakes. And that is nice, rich, delicious apple pie filling for a pie, a turnover, or to put on top of ice cream or any dessert you want. And I want to ask, did you click that pink frosting button yet? If you don't subscribe, I can't continue to give you all these good recipes, and you know fall is coming up and the holidays, and you know you're going to want it. So you need to subscribe and click the notification button so you can get notified every time I have a new video every Saturday morning, and come and keep baking with me.